Okay. Good afternoon to everyone who is here.
Oh, so this is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on now.
Yeah. Good afternoon to everyone who is here. It's pleasing to see the numbers that are here. It gives me comfort that the message that we'll be sharing today with everyone is going to reach every soccer-loving person who will be at the game or not at the game, so that they understand what they can and what they cannot do, and what we can offer and not offer. In yesterday's meeting, someone raised a comment to say there isn't a venue here in South Africa or anywhere else that is big enough for the Soweto Derby. Doesn't matter where we take it, the demand is always so much more than what we can supply. So it becomes really a case of demand, supply, and what we can do. And from the act says you plan according to your capacity. And this is what we are here to talk about. And also to address the ticketing issue that has been topical everywhere. And that's why we couldn't release any statement before today, because we had a meeting yesterday with the provincial commissioner. So we had to align to be on the same page before releasing the statement. Because on our own as the league, we cannot be able to run an event of this nature, and we never do because of the act, the SASRIA Act. So after yesterday's meeting, it took us about 4 hours to align, to address fake news and to address the real issues as well, where we believe as the league we will need assistance from the province and also from the provincial commissioner. And it was a very successful meeting, and that's why we're sitting here today as a joint venture to deliver this huge final that we'll be hosting on Saturday. I've got Bertie here, as Fabio has tried to explain, what we did after the ticketing sales and the problems that we experienced because of volumes. We roped in Bertie. He has hosted at FNB using the same ticketing company to provide the service, to say, come in as an independent auditor, in inverted commas, to come and look at the system, to come and advise us in terms of what happened, because we want the truth. I don't want to listen to the service provider telling me what they think they should be telling me and telling me what they think will please me. I want the raw truth as is, so that when I engage with the counterparts in the province, we all understand the magnitude of the problem, and so that we come up with proper solutions. The last derby that was FNB, the same ticketing provider was used. So fresh from last weekend, that was the reason why I chose Bertie to come and advise us on that capacity. He's not representing stadium management, he is representing me, because I said come and analyze this report and tell me exactly what has gone wrong and what is right or what we can fix. And that's why he's here today. So I will pause and ask Bertie to talk about the ticketing and what has happened and where we are as we speak. Thank you.
Yesterday when the CEO asked me to come through, she's dragging me into a lion's den to answer questions, and I want to reiterate, I'm not representing open tickets or stadium management. I'm not a representative of them. The PSL asked me to analyze the numbers, and then obviously specifically related to the ESSBC, the concerns is there not over issuing of tickets. That was a major concern to the CEO of the PSL as well as the chairman. And now, from the data I've obtained, I want to, and excuse me, I'm not going to try to be, or try not to be long-winded, but to give you the relevant information. The capacity of the stadium that's been approved by the ESSBC is 49,307 seats. It's a reduced capacity. There's been, and the stadium manager will allude to that, there's a proper grading certificate and proper compliance with the SASRIA Act, and that is the capacity and the number of tickets that were issued. The breakdown of these tickets are as follows. Hospitality tickets, 5,307. Complimentary tickets, to the sponsors, to the clubs and other contractual obligations 3,000, and that leaves us with 41,000 general access tickets that went on sale. Now, according to the information we could gather, and I would like to say this is a preliminary report that was provided to the PSL. The final report will still serve before the PSL and I'm sure before the Board of Governors, and then there will be a decision taken. But the minute the tickets opened, it was sold out within 90 minutes. That caused a delay, a glitch, a crash, call it whatever you want to. It's not applicable and it's not relevant to our discussions now. The fact is that tickets went on sale and the system allowed more people to make payments than there's capacity for. Now that immediately raises the concern, and a lot of, as the CEO alluded to, false information went out, that people were issued with tickets. That's not the case. Open tickets with their appointed, they've got a service level agreement with a CompuTicket as a distribution agent. They stopped the platform from issuing tickets, physical tickets, but the transactions still went through. Now, what did that entail? At the retail outlets, the ShopRite Checkers outlets, 4,956 tickets were sold and issued across the country. I will deal with the breakdown of it now. On the Open Ticket website, the digital tickets, 2,435. The CompuTicket website, 44,121. So that immediately tells you that there's an issue, over issuing of tickets. They stopped the issuing, as I already alluded to, and I just want to get to the breakdown, if you allow me. Of the outlet sales, as I said, CompuTicket, ShopRite, 33.55% of the uptake went to KwaZulu-Natal. 35.24% went to Gauteng, and Umhlanga 8.51%. I'm not going to deal with the rest. The Open Ticket and CompuTicket online sales combined, KwaZulu-Natal 39.56%, Gauteng 32.73%, and Umhlanga 12%. Please refer to the actual, this number only refers to the actual tickets that was issued. So, of the issuing of tickets, there were 19,361 tickets that still had to be allocated to successful purchasers. Of that, we determined yesterday 34.2% went to KwaZulu-Natal. So let me try and explain it as easy as I can. To get to the planned capacity, they had to allocate from this over-issuing of the tickets, 19,561 tickets had to be allocated to people that paid but did not get their tickets. 10,510 people, or not people, tickets, were paid for but were over capacity, and those people had to be refunded. So during the course of yesterday, and I can confirm that I've got a certificate from the ticketing agent, all people to the capacity of the stadium received their tickets, whether it's hard copy thermal tickets or digital via the different platforms. So the message should go out. There were no more tickets issued than the capacity allows for. That is the most important message, and that was why General Makonazi personally was in the meeting yesterday to confirm that as well. Of the people that paid but cannot be allocated tickets because it's over capacity, 80% as we speak here, everyone that bought online were refunded. 80% of those people that bought with a credit card were refunded. The other 20% is people that paid via EFT or other form of payment platform. They all received messages, and upon receipt of their banking details, they will be refunded.
Thank you very much, Fatu. Greetings, everyone. I will address just quickly 4 issues. One is the structural compliance. 2 is the pitch. 3 is the PVAs. And 4 is the park and ride. We have hosted Nedbank Cup Final in the past 6 years as Moses Mabhida, and we're excited that Nedbank and the league have chosen this destination for this derby. It is our second derby final to host at the stadium. On the basis of what we've hosted before, we've started planning, and planning continues, and execution is on Saturday for the derby. To confirm that the stadium complies with the South Act in terms of the requirements as confirmed by South African Police Services, and yesterday we had to submit every piece of certificate required for compliance. I'm saying this at the back of understanding that we took you through at some point on the media day for the rehabilitation of that stadium, and we confirmed at the time that while we were doing the maintenance and rehabilitation, we would not close the stadium for events. Since then, we've continued to have big and small events, and we continued to comply with what we need to comply with in terms of the requirements of the law. Given the demand of the spectators, when the final was announced to be a derby, we knew that there was going to be a high demand for this match. So, as part of the planning, we did confirm with our mayor at an EXCO meeting yesterday that the city is going to provide 2 PVAs to allow people that want to watch the match with others, because it's always nicer to watch with others. Those 2 PVAs, one is at the beachfront and the other is at Albert Park. Let me just comment on the mayor's message on the Albert Park. Albert Park has been notorious, as you know, as an area that people did not feel safe. So the city has taken a program to clean Albert Park from everything that you can think of, the park, the precinct of Albert Park, as well as cleaning it out of the drugs. So there is an effort from the city to reclaim that space, and therefore it is strategic for us to have it so that it's clear that it belongs to the city and people of the city. And that those were the words of the mayor at an EXCO meeting yesterday. So those will be the 2 PVAs, and we are then saying to the public, those who don't have tickets, don't come closer to the stadium precinct. There are alternatives that have been provided by the city. The pitch, we are getting a program after the Betway Premiership match yesterday to prepare for the final. Our pitch has not been at the standard that we are known for, and what we have turned it around, and the rehabilitation program post-match started last evening, and we can promise the 2 teams that they will play in a pitch that they will be proud of. Then lastly, the city has provided a park and ride service. This park and ride service, as you heard, that there are more than 5,000 hospitality or suite allocated seats, and the stadium doesn't have the capacity, parking capacity for everyone that is going to those suites to have parking within the precinct. So an additional park and ride parking has been provided, but it is specific to those who have hospitality packages. It includes that. I'm saying this so that you know. Members of the media that may not have parking access at the stadium through the PSL will be accommodated in the park and ride, and that park and ride will then take members of the media as well. Thank you very much.
My responsibility as the Deputy Provincial Commissioner responsible for policing, my other duty is to make sure that all the events that take place in the province go well. We, as SAPS, in the province, we informed on time of this event that is to take place on Saturday, the Derby. And during the initial engagements, when we got to know about it, we had reservations about us hosting it because of different issues that might compromise the safety of the spectators. And we know that we can host it because we have done so in numerous times, or rather countless times. However, because of those issues or those reservations that we had to engage the relevant people, the owners of the stadium and the organizers, and they allayed fears. One of the fears was in respect of the safety of the stadium, considering that it is under construction, and we know Soweto Derby and the numbers that we can expect for such events. So we have had meetings, we have received necessary applications in terms of the laws as area, and after that we appointed the relevant officers to run the planning processes, which in terms of the law again, we have to convene the EWSPC meetings. And even during the EWSPC meetings, certain loopholes were identified, but those were brought to the attention of the organizers. And the organizers again managed to allay fears and resolve the issues. We have since received necessary certificates that are supposed to be part of the file that can then take us through, make sure that we comply with the Act, including the grading certificates and everything. We are comfortable at this stage that we, as the law enforcement, we are going to police this event successfully. After the meeting that was held yesterday, we heard about it. That meeting was prompted by, again, what was going on social media regarding the cells, regarding the possible overcrowding and so forth, but that has since been resolved as we have heard. So we are now finalizing our operational plan that we are going to be executing on Saturday as the law enforcement. And mind you, the law enforcement includes everyone that you can think of that is relevant for the plan or for the operation to be successful. That talks to the traffic control, that talks to the medicals, it talks to disaster management and so forth and so on. What I want to emphasize is the issue of tickets have already been alluded to, is that as SAPS will be very strict on the ground, we'll be on the ground, and we don't want anyone that doesn't. If you know that you don't have tickets to watch the match or to be at the stadium, rather stay away or go somewhere where else where you can watch the match instead of coming to the stadium to cause unnecessary conflict. Because as law enforcement, we don't want to be in conflict with football lovers. We just want to make sure that everyone is safe. We are in an operational mode. As we speak, the meeting is taking place, the EWSPC meeting, touching up on the loose ends of the plan, trying to finalize the plan with the commitments of all stakeholders that are applicable and relevant to the plan. As such, we've witnessed previously in other events where we see people that are coming in again with no tickets and others trying to hijack the processes or hijack the sales when this event is actually sponsored. They hijack the sales without going through the processes of being authorized to do so. We will be there also to deal with such. I'm asked to do a brief briefing. Last but not least, if anyone wants to fly a drone, there are processes again that needs to be followed. You have to apply to fly a drone on the day through EWSPC structure. If you fly a drone without authorization, we have to do what we need to do. Thank you.
For breaking news, please visit www.ngobo2010sharpi.com.